Summer's officially here, and the bikini sale at shackshop.us is happening right now. Get hot styles, bold prints, and perfect fits, all on sale for a limited time. Whether you're beach-bound or poolside, we've got the bikini that makes you feel confident, cute, and totally summer-ready. So don't wait. Head to shackshop.us and shop the sale before it ends. That's shackshop.us, your new favorite bikini spot.
Love Island All-Stars delivered one of its most combustible nights yet, and at the center of it all was Maya Jama, making a show-stopping entrance in a plunging black gown before orchestrating a challenge that sent shockwaves through the villa. Filming in South Africa for ITV2's returning All-Star spin-off, the 31-year-old presenter teased chaos on social media before stepping into the villa to host a high-stakes game that exposed doubts, stirred resentment, and forced couples to publicly question each other's intentions. What followed was a cascade of pointed accusations, uncomfortable silences, and simmering rivalries bubbling to the surface. Below is a full breakdown of what happened, who clashed, and why this episode may permanently reshape alliances inside the villa. A social media tease before the storm. Hours before filming the pivotal episode, Maya shared behind-the-scenes clips and photos showing the final touches being added to her sleek black evening dress. The gown featured a plunging neckline and sculpted silhouette, a signature villa entrance look designed to command attention. Captioning her post with a knowing wink to viewers, she wrote, "Games night on Friday 13th. What's the worst that could happen?" For seasoned Love Island fans, that rhetorical question translated to one thing: absolute carnage. And the timing, Friday the 13th, felt almost too on the nose for what was about to unfold. The villa before the challenge, calm on the surface. When Maya arrived, the villa atmosphere appeared celebratory. Islanders were preparing for an All-Stars party, dressed in bold evening looks as the fire pit glowed under the South African sky. But beneath the polished exterior, fractures had already formed. Recent tensions stemming from flirtations, private chats in the so-called secret garden, and uneven emotional investment had left several couples on shaky ground. All it needed was a spark. The text that changed the mood. The shift came quickly when a text notification interrupted the party buildup. Whitney Adebayo read aloud, "Islanders, tonight is All-Stars party time in the villa. Make sure your opinions are as sharp as your outfits." The line signaled that this wasn't just another themed celebration. This would be confrontation disguised as fun. Moments later, Maya gathered the couples and revealed the evening's main event, the To Be Honest challenge. The rules: public votes, public consequences. Couples would stand together and answer a series of uncomfortable questions. Each pair would vote for another couple they believed best fit the description. There would be no private ballots, no whispered strategy, no diplomatic wording. Everything would be spoken openly, and every vote would be felt. Question 1. Which couple is the most boring? The first question sounded harmless, almost playful. It wasn't. Jack Kading and Sue Swa immediately chose Jesse Potts and Tommy Bradley. Jack justified it simply. "It's early days, you haven't had drama." On Love Island, no drama can sometimes be interpreted as no storyline, and that implication hit harder than expected. While Jesse and Tommy attempted to brush it off, their body language told a different story. Being labeled boring in a show built on passion and personality is rarely neutral. The comment planted the first seed of tension. Belle enters the tray. When Belle Hassan was invited to share her thoughts, the mood escalated. Her remarks sparked a sharp exchange involving Lucinda Strawford and Son Stone. Voices overlapped, expressions hardened. What had started as structured gameplay began to feel personal. At one point, Maya intervened. "All right, let's move it on." The host's interruption prevented a full argument, but the undertone remained. The cheating question. The second major prompt shifted the energy entirely. Which couple is most likely to cheat on each other? Silence lingered before votes were cast. Several Islanders referenced recent behavior, hinting at flirtations or ambiguous loyalty moments earlier in the week. One Islander quipped, "Take a bow, that's on you." It was both sarcastic and cutting. In a show where trust is fragile and temptation is constant, suggesting a couple lacks fidelity cuts to the core of their connection. Staying together for convenience. Next came a strategic accusation. Which couple are staying together until something better comes along? Helen Ford and Carrington Rodriguez directed their vote toward Belle Hassan and Harrison Solomon. Their reasoning: more Harrison than Belle. Belle's too good for Harrison. The comment struck at compatibility and perceived imbalance. Belle and Harrison quickly retaliated, referencing a controversial private conversation earlier that day. Secret Garden was a bad move, you're being punished. The tension became cyclical, vote for vote, jab for jab. Emotional honesty under scrutiny. Another loaded question followed. Which couple are the least honest about their feelings? Whitney and Jack disagreed sharply on the answer, exposing cracks in their own dynamic as they debated their reasoning. Meanwhile, Helena critiqued Jesse and Tommy again, describing Tommy as the easy option. The phrase implied emotional safety over genuine spark, a subtle but sharp assessment. The final blow: who were the biggest game players? The last question proved the most volatile. Which couple are the biggest game players? In the All-Stars format featuring returning contestants with prior experience, strategic perception matters. Accusations of playing the game rather than following feelings carry reputational weight. Votes landed heavily, reactions were immediate, silences stretched long. By the end of the challenge, smiles had vanished. Maya Jama poise amid chaos. Throughout the escalating exchanges, Maya maintained composure. Her role was equal parts moderator and ringmaster, allowing tension to surface while ensuring it didn't spiral beyond control. The striking black gown became symbolic of the evening itself. Elegant on the outside, dramatic at its core. Social media quickly filled with praise for her look, with viewers noting that her entrances consistently feel like event television moments. Why this episode matters. Reality television thrives on conflict, but not all drama reshapes dynamics. This challenge did. Publicly labeling couples as boring, dishonest, unfaithful, opportunistic, or strategic forces islanders to diffront how they're perceived. And perception inside the villa often determines survival. With recouplings, public votes, and potential eliminations looming, reputational damage can have lasting impact. The psychology of public voting. The brilliance of the To Be Honest format lies in its structure. By removing anonymity, producers increase emotional stakes. No one can hide behind group consensus. Every vote has a face, every criticism has a name. That transparency creates ripple effects long after the challenge ends. The South Africa setting. The All-Stars edition films in South Africa, offering a slightly different villa atmosphere compared to the Mallorca setting of the original Love Island. The warmer tones, open layout, and dramatic evening lighting amplify confrontation scenes, particularly around the fire pit. Environment influences emotion, and this backdrop amplified the theatrical intensity.
Within minutes of broadcast, viewers began debating. Was Jesse and Tommy unfairly labeled boring? Is Harrison truly mismatched with Belle? Are some couples calculating their way to the final? Social engagement surged as fans picked sides. What happens next? Fallout from this episode will likely influence next recoupling decisions, public vote standings, future alliances, emotional trust levels. Once accusations are spoken aloud, they cannot be unheard. Final thoughts. Friday the 13th proved symbolic. What began as a glamorous party night transformed into one of the most confrontational episodes of Love Island All-Stars to date. And as always, Maya Jama stood at the center, composed, commanding, and undeniably captivating.